Merry Christmas and welcome back to the Breast Hustle with me, Rachel Whitaker. So if you want to learn how to build a website, what's the best website for you to build for your business, then stay tuned and I'm going to talk with you and I guess at you at this stage all about what's the best website to build, what's the best tools to use to build that website that's going to convert for your business. So stay tuned and here we go.
Welcome everyone to the Breast Hustle podcast, where we talk all things women in business, leadership, and women's health. Hosted by Rachel Whitaker, owner and amazing inventor of the one-handed bra, Bra Easy. A podcast where she shares her journey on building a lingerie brand with a difference. And now, here's your host, Rachel.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Breast Hustle with me, Rachel Whitaker, and today's episode is going to be all about building websites. So if you've got that under your belt and you can build a website and you know exactly which style you need to do to convert for your customers and for your business, then move on to some of my other podcasts. I'm sure that you can get some benefit out of optimizing images, and there's videos, and there's a whole lot of stuff. And of course, there's stuff you can download to help you have a bit of a checklist to make sure you cover all the things that you need going forward. So let's get into it. So firstly, I wanted to say I am so sorry that I haven't been around for a little bit. I haven't met my target of making fortnightly podcasts. There's a big reason. So my mum passed in November, so early November, and I was blessed enough to be able to be with her when she did pass. And a lot of us don't ever get that opportunity to say our goodbyes when we have someone who's near and dear to us, to say farewell and I love you. So that was a really special time, but it's taken me a little bit to be a bit motivated to get back on and do these podcasts for the moment. In December, my daughter had a major seizure and fractured her arm in two places. So I had to spend a couple of weeks in hospital with her, helping her and discussing options with neurology and orthopedics, and really just being there for her when she really needs me. So it's been a really crazy 2 months for me, but that's life, right? It just gets in the way of everything. So I'm back on board now, and I'm really excited to go over our topic today, which is, of course, websites. So I've been building a number of different websites for different things, and that's the key. What I mean by that is if you have a product, the website is very different to if you have a service-based industry where you need people to make appointments, etc. The functionality and the features and the way you communicate your businesses is very different. And so you need to consider, okay, what is my business all about? Do I need to make appointments? Do I have surely a product that I am putting out there? Or am I someone who has a product that I just want to sell and I don't need to make appointments and I don't need that sort of scheduling activity? Is my website for a podcast like mine? And what's different about that, and what do I need to have? So there's a lot of questions, and it's all based around what sort of business you're looking to build or already have, and have you built the right website for your business right now? So let's dig in a little bit more about websites. So the very first website I built was back in early 2000s, and it was for a kindergarten. So it was a way that they could communicate their weekly newsletter to all the parents and the photos of what the kids had been up to, just to the parents of those children. because really you don't want, in today's day and age, to be sharing photos of your children with complete strangers. Even if their children were there, you wouldn't be comfortable. So there was a number of features that they needed, and way back then we had to write our own HTML coding to be able to do it. So I built this really funky process where all of these little hands came in the banner with like somebody was finger painting, and it was really super cute, I thought. So I just went and Googled how somebody had done those sorts of animated GIFs, and I built it myself. And so that was really fun, and the newsletter would go on, but everybody could just go from the kindergarten and put up the latest newsletter, so I didn't have to maintain it for them, because your kids are there for a year, really. I'm not going to be doing this forever for you. So I wanted it to be self-serving for the people that were going to manage it going forward. And so that was fun. Other websites that I've built, I probably talk more about the ones that I've built for my business, which is a product-based business. I sell bras, and that's why this podcast is called The Breast Hustle, because, it just seems to be about boobs all the time. I'm sorry. But this business has changed my life, and as I build it, I'm changing many women's lives. So that's, to me, what feeds my excitement and my forever motivation to go and make something that's a bit special, keep people entertained. And it's really important to make sure that your website reflects what's on your social profiles. So people say, oh yes, I've been following these people for a while. I know that this is what they're like, and you're building trust. And so I built the Bra Easy website initially on my host platform where I bought the domain. That was the big mistake. Their website builder was really rubbish, and it really didn't matter how good my photos were, just the fiddling around that took forever. And so I gave them a go for about 2 months, and then I moved on to another host who also had a not great experience as far as the building tool that I was using. And so then I thought, you know what, I'm wasting a lot of my time on building websites with these really awful tools. So I need to go and investigate. So for about 2 months, I researched what's the best hosting platform, what's the new thing that everyone's using, what's the great building tools, what's something really easy for me so it's not going to take up all my time to continually update these websites that I can use. And that's when I discovered that things like Shopify and WooCommerce are fantastic tools for product-based industries. I also discovered that WordPress is great for service-based industries, the plugins that they allow to be able to schedule things. My podcast website is a WordPress website because it works perfectly for what I want. And the plugin for Blurberry, and then all of the podcasts just go out to all of the different platforms, which is super easy for me. So the initial build in WordPress it took me maybe 2 hours, and I tested and played around with all the different features they had on there. There's a lot of stuff that they give you for free, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what tool you build things on. With WordPress, it needs to be hosted somewhere. WordPress is the tool to help you build the platform, but it actually has to be on a server somewhere for people to be able to access it, for Google to be able to find it. So it needs to be hosted. And so I went through Blue Hosting with the WordPress site. It was pretty easy. They've got their own website builder as well. So between the features of WordPress and the Bluehost provider, the tools were pretty good and the tools were really easy. So it's even more important to not waste your time. Don't spend 2 months like I did having to research. Having said that, if I had done that in the first instance, I probably would have been 4 months earlier than what I was in the end. I also had to teach myself how to optimize the images and look at the content that people were putting up, doing the research around what key phrases people are searching for on Google. So there's a lot of super interesting stuff that if you don't do the homework, you will pay for it in the end. Interesting. I did. I paid for it. So it's a great learning from me to you. If you need to build a Shopify website, it is really simple to have a product-based industry, to have all your stock on there. It has an inventory count, it has blog pages, it has pages that you can create for landing pages. There's a host of things on there. You connect all of your social media onto it. So if people find your website, they can click on your social media and see what that looks like. So it's kind of the reverse way. And again, I love the fact that there's unlimited pages. So the 138 pages of content, which I've built so far, and I've just thought of a new theme that I'm going to be writing a whole slew of blog posts and pages for SEO that will help the traffic come to my website. I think it's going to be pretty easy. So it's going to be interesting to see the impact that these 38 pages have. When I've done the research, the search term comes up with 33,000 a month. People are Googling this search. So I think that's a really easy win for me. And the big boys in lingerie don't write content like I do. From a adaptive bra perspective, we rank number 1 organically on Google just because of all of the content. So having that unlimited page function is priceless. It really, really is. When you go into WordPress, there's lots of opportunity to build a lot of pages. You can put I've been able to put the infographics on, which you guys can download. The plugins that it uses really easy, and it's really just drop and drag things. The hosting's quite cheap through Bluehost, so it's not costing me a fortune. And the domain I bought through Google. So I guess one of the things to consider is when you're buying or when you're wanting to build a website, make sure you get a domain that makes sense. The name is going to make sense, and because that's a Google search term as well. Have a think about every word you put on those pages needs to be relevant to your audience. So have fun, guys. I'm going to put an infographic into my website that you can download if you want about the bonuses that I found on all of these different websites. I haven't built WooCommerce, but supposedly once you get quite technical with the how-tos inside Shopify, that's the one that they say it's cheaper just to go into that platform other than paying all of these developers to do these little tools for you and upgrades and moving bars and moving banners and adding in things and announcements. The list goes on of all of the funky things you could do. And don't forget, the last thing that you want to do is put so many images that are not optimized into your website that it makes it so slow that nobody wants to go there because they get bored. And I know that even when I go to other websites, if it doesn't respond really quickly, I'm going refresh. And if that still doesn't work, I've given up and moved on. So if I do that, people are doing that to me. So I need to make sure that my website is super fast, informative, and enabling so that they can do what they want to do, which is buy my bra. But that's enough for this week, everybody, and thank you so much for the follows. Make sure you share and like and subscribe and all that great stuff. I'll be putting some more stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and it's been really fun. And I'm so sorry that I had to take a couple of months off. That's like really unusual for me. I'm a 7-day-a-week kind of girl, so to be out of everything for that long, I think, yeah. So that's really unusual for me, and I apologize because I am committed to bringing you guys the best information to help you build your businesses. And that's all from me. We're going to have a surprise guest very soon, and you're going to love her. Somebody that I know you guys will love. She is an amazing business owner and has a great story. She's a real go-getter, and I love how she helps other women with their businesses. So stay tuned, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.